to all the dignitaries and participants present. On behalf of Dayal Upadhayaya College of University of Delhi, India, I, Priya Goyal, convener of this event, feel immense pleasure in welcoming you all to the international webinar on World Food Programme WFP, a journey to the Nobel Peace Prize 2020, being organized under the aegis of DBT Star College Scheme and Internal Quality Assurance Cell of the college. We extend a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers of the day, Dr. Harjit Sandhu, the Senior Advisor Investigations at World Food Programme Headquarters in Rome, and Mr. Bishow Parajuli, the WFP Representative and Country Director in India. I also welcome our Principal Sir, Dr. Hemchand Jain, for encouraging us organize this event with all his support. Dr. Manoj Saxena, the Coordinator IQAC and Deputy Star College Scheme of our college, is also among us. The Star College Scheme has been initiated by Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, to support the colleges and university departments offering undergraduate education to improve science teaching. In 2018, the DBT, under Star College Scheme, sanctioned a sum of rupees 1.04 crores for 3 years for strengthening of life sciences and biotechnology education and training at the undergraduate level for 5 departments of our college, that is botany, zoology, chemistry, electronics, and mathematics. So now on this fateful day, first of all, we congratulate our worthy speakers and World Food Programme on earning the most prestigious Nobel Peace Prize 2020 for their tireless efforts in providing food to over 100 million people around the world. Even during this pandemic, the world's largest humanitarian organization worked day and night, saving lives and delivering smiles in the form of food. Founded in 1961, WFP is headquartered in Rome and has offices in about 80 countries around the world, including India. It is the food assistance branch of the United Nations. We once again heartfully thank Dr. Sandhu and Mr. Parajuli for accepting our request for an interaction on this platform. Thank you very much, sir. May I now take the opportunity to introduce our worthy speaker, Dr. Harjit Sandhu. A senior law enforcement officer, Dr. Sandhu, has held high-level managerial and administrative positions in the field of administrative as well as criminal investigations, including financial and economic crimes, fraud and corruption, counter-terrorism, money laundering, drug trafficking, and war crimes during his career of over 4 decades. He has also been providing services as an independent expert on the same. Had assignments at international level with Interpol, United Nations, Security Council, and UN International Tribunal. He served as a member, coordinator, and spokesperson for the UN Security Council, joined World Food Programme in 2002 as Chief Investigations Officer, and is currently serving there as Senior Advisor Investigation. Dr. Sandhu's academic and professional qualifications cover a wide range of subjects concerning law and security, financial investigations, crime and justice, management, strategic planning, and public administration. Indeed, it's a long journey he has with World Food Programme, and we all are excited to know about it, sir. So now I would hand over the session to you, Dr. Sandhu. You may share your screen, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me, do you want to continue? Yes. Okay. Just 1 second. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Priya Goyal. And I would like to mention before starting, I heartily welcome my friend and senior colleague, Bishow Parajuli. It is indeed pleasure that he is with me. So he knows about WFP much more than I know because I joined WFP in 2012 April. So I think it was slip of tongue. You said 2002, not that long. 2012. So Mr. Parajuli was already there. So Bishu, the good old friend. I will try to put a few things. I have tried to put some pictures and videos also in between, and will tell what we do, what WFP is doing all around the globe, and particularly what I am doing. Because after dealing with fraud, corruption, terrorism, and whatnot, all sorts of crimes, some of my colleagues in police ask me, what are you doing in World Food Program? So I will try to touch on that towards the end. But let us first go on celebrating WFP's achievements. So WFP, what it has done, what it is doing, which made it get this Nobel Peace Prize, because food and peace, how they are linked. So let us see. I have put some few things. Hope this screens work. Come on, yeah, okay. So the chairwoman of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, Berit Reiss-Andersen, what she said why WFP was chosen: for its efforts to combat hunger, for its contribution to bettering conditions for peace in conflict-affected areas, and for acting as a driving force in efforts to prevent the use of hunger as a weapon of war and conflict. And regarding this Nobel Peace Prize, just watch this 1 minute video before we move on, please.
Harjit, it's not coming.
Dr. Harjit, the video
Yes.
is not, the video does not play.
No, it is playing on my screen. I don't know why.
Sir, you may have to just stop presenting and then you have to share that relevant screen where the video is being displayed.
Oh,
Currently,
so
we can
let me.
only see only your presentation.
Oh, because I opened the link. Let me see if
Yeah. So you have to share it again.
it. Let me see. It is open and. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The voice is not there.
Dr. Sandhu, if this video has a sound, we are sorry not able to hear it.
No.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
there
No.
is a sound. There is a sound normally.
Did you hear? No?
No, sir.
No voice.
No voice on the video. Okay, next time maybe I will try to go to the next one. I will open directly from the link. That's very strange. Why is not, these are the...
Maybe you can go ahead and make a presentation and then.
Yeah. Yeah, screen sharing. It is letting me do. Yeah. Okay, so let's see, because mostly it was video based. So this is in recognition of the work of WFP staff. That was what video was saying, who put their lives on the line every day to bring food and assistance to more than 100 million hungry children, women and men across the world. Let us try this again. I'm trying this second link if this opens. If not, then I will skip the videos and go straight. Okay, so let me go back to this. So was this any sound in this video?
No, sir.
No, so
No
I think
sound.
maybe
I think you better go to the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, then we leave this. We leave, but the link is there below that on the Twitter also. So if this one doesn't come, then we go straight to the presentation, the other slides, and then we leave these videos. I can share it as a link later on, and then people can they directly view it afterwards. With these network things, it's always better to do it on the spot if you can do. Let me close this also. I think we better go directly to the presentation. Okay. Okay. So are you seeing my screen back? Do you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I will avoid video. There were some really excellent videos, but with the network, I think some problem with the network or something, why the sound is not coming. So my apologies that videos, you could not hear the sound. They were really great. So that raises the question who we are, what we do, and where we work. You see, we work everywhere. We literally work everywhere. If you see these blue spots, these are the countries where we are. And the red spots on this picture are the ones where we are dealing with emergencies. WFP is the world's largest humanitarian agency fighting hunger worldwide. Each year, we distribute more than 15 billion rations at an average cost of 61 cents. These numbers lie at the root of WFP's unparalleled reputation to respond to emergency. And the mission of WFP is to end global hunger. Every day, WFP works worldwide to ensure that no child goes to bed hungry and that the poorest and the most vulnerable, particularly women and children, can access the nutritious food they need. Again, this was one of the finest video, and this showed actually exactly what WFP does and the things that one should know about WFP. So If you bear with me, I will try this one last and then otherwise go to the rest of the slides, because this one really is so. This one, could you see this one?
No, no, please, you go on.
You could not see it.
No, sir. No,
Because
sir.
this side did try to share.
Sir,
Why
your
doesn't?
screen shows 6 things you should know about WFP.
And then it does not move.
No, sir. No, sir.
Maybe, maybe you can just talk, Harjit, without a slide if it's not working, because you
Yeah,
can
I'm
just share.
trying to get it back to the. Okay, so we go further ahead. Let's see. Uh, can you see anything? No?
No,
6 things?
just 2-line words, that's it.
Because it's not moving. I think some problem with the screen is not. Yeah, okay, so finally.
Now it's coming.
Okay, so at least screen is coming, because there was some problem, even screen was not coming. That was the real problem. You know, network here these days is, it could be anywhere problem, but the network was it.
I think we should move on.
My apologies. Let's go to, so each day WFP has up to 5,600 trucks, 30 ships, and 100 planes on the move, delivering food and other assistance in some of the most remote and challenging parts of the world. As you see, we use every type of transport. So we have ships here, you have helicopter, trucks, everywhere, you name it, transport, and we use it somewhere. This one, even to the extent of this amphibious vehicles, which can go right deep inside the water, and even the mules. Where nothing can go, the mule goes there. So after dropping by helicopters, then the mules, they take it further on that. So this was another video. These links can be shared there. So anyway, it is in the screen. So you can open the video link later and see. This shows how the WFP supply chain is delivering food by all the means. So by land, by sea, by air, on foot, by any means we use. And this link is there. So at least this link can click on this link yourself on this YouTube link, even though I had put a hyperlink, but it looks like that is not it cannot be shared for some strange reason. I've never heard of this, but it's, sometimes it happens, Murphy's Law. So the link is there. Are you seeing the YouTube link? You can see if you are seeing.
Move on to the new slide.
Okay. So then we come to the school meals program. So in 2019, WFP provided school meals to more than 17.3 million children in 50 countries, often in the hardest to reach areas, thus improving both their nutrition and their access to a potentially life-changing education. And these are some of the pictures that show about the school meals and how excited these kids are. And these free meals inspire more than the children, their parents, to make sure that children attend schools, because parents also get ration out of that. In 2019, WFP delivered 4.2 million metric tons of food, the equivalent of 840,000 Asian elephants. So that will be equivalent in weight. More than 3/4 of the food we buy comes from developing countries. So this saves time and money on transport costs and helping sustain and grow local economies. In emergencies, WFP is often the first on the scene, providing food assistance to the victims of war, civil conflict, drought, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes, crop failures, and natural disasters. When the emergency subsides, WFP helps communities rebuild shattered lives and livelihoods. We also work to strengthen the resilience of people and communities affected by protracted crisis by applying a development lens in our humanitarian response. Then cash transfers. Over the past decade, WFP has been using more and more cash transfers alongside food deliveries to provide assistance to people in need. Because then they can buy things what they want, not what we just give to them. So they can go and buy things of their choice. WFP is the largest cash provider in the humanitarian community. US $2.1 billion of assistance was provided this way in 64 countries in 2019, and this represented 38% of WFP's total assistance portfolio for 2019. Cash transfers include assistance distributed as physical cash, that is banknotes, e-money, mobile money, money through the debit cards, money through the value vouchers, so even SIM cards. So you can see some of the pictures are there. Like this one is about a mobile phone where in the SIM, the household number that gets the message that, okay, your PIN is set and you can go. And with this, you can go and buy. These other cards are from Bangladesh. Then the next one is our UN Humanitarian Air Service, which again WFP provides this service to the entire humanitarian community, including the transportation of persons. During this, up to last week, you can see WFP has dispatched about 80,000 cubic meter of COVID-19 items to 169 countries on behalf of 62 partners. So that represents almost 86% of the world. Approximately 25,000 passengers from 384 organizations have been transported during this time when other airlines are not working. Then WFP is helping countries to forecast extreme climate events and trigger preventive action before vulnerable families are hit by disasters. So they are provided cash to buy food and other items before the disaster strikes. Like in this picture, you can see in Bangladesh, the woman is getting cash to go and buy whatever she needs because the floods have been predicted. So before floods come, this woman can go and buy whatever she needs. And more than 50% of the people WFP serves are women and girls. As you can see this picture from Zimbabwe, where Mr. Bishow Parajuli was the resident coordinator for 4 or 5 years. Then this one is the picture from Mozambique. So at these pictures are better than video because video was not playing. So at these pictures you can see. So in this picture, the school girls in Mozambique, they are taking home rations before the schools were closed, just before this COVID lockdown started. Another one is in Syria. So here mothers in the rural area, Dayal Zur, wait to collect food from a WFP assistance point. This one is Yemen. Again, my friend Bishow was there, the country director. So this 4-year-old boy is sitting on the bags of WFP wheat flour given in that area. This is our staff in Nigeria doing her job in a biggest floating slum in Lagos, Nigeria. I have thousands and thousands of pictures, some taken by me, some taken by others. Where it is taken by others, I have put credit to that person. This one was about food distribution in Laos. I was there last year and there were quite a few distribution points I visited in various places, even in Afghanistan also. This picture is to show that maybe here Bishow can cover it during his point, because many times WFP has a real serious challenge. It has to negotiate safe passage. We are providing assistance in those conflict areas where even entry is problem. So you have two parties to conflict. In one is controlled, some area is controlled by one, another is controlled by another. But for us, we provide assistance where it is needed, not depending on which side of the conflict we are supporting. We don't support any party to the conflict. So in those cases, sometimes we have to negotiate safe passage for the food across that. But particularly in Afghanistan, Yemen, and South Sudan. In these three areas, I'm personally aware of where WFP has to negotiate to get access to the people, those who are really in need. Then we come to the next part. Contributions to WFP have increased in recent years. And in 2019, we reached a record level of US $8 billion, but we still have US $4.1 billion funding gap. Rising needs aligned to the high cost of assisting people amidst drawn-out conflicts, climate-related disasters, and the coronavirus pandemic mean we need increased financial support more than ever, as this lady in People's Republic of Congo is waiting for her turn to buy groceries. So we need more and more. So now it comes to the last part of that, what I'm doing in WFP. So the question comes, people do ask, does all the money we are talking of, this 8 billion we mentioned, the question is asked often by the donors and by others, does all the money meant for the beneficiaries goes to them? Because World Bank had said long time back that corruption hurts the poor disproportionately. Every 25 cents taken means one more child will remain hungry. So what WFP does, WFP has developed robust mechanisms to ensure value for money and full accountability in all its operations and programs. We have anti-fraud and anti-corruption policy that is applicable to all WFP activities and operations, and it includes staff, cooperating partners, vendors, suppliers, etc. Everybody who is dealing with that, it covers. And then there are so many other, when I put it robust mechanisms, it's not only investigations or audit, there are so many others. We have risk management, we have three 3 lines of defense, which now is changing to 3 model of 3 lines from 3 lines of defense. So that was audit model. So we have a risk management division, then country directors, the regional director, they have their own role to play. But I will come to my office of Internal Oversight, which has internal audit. It is like any other audit. Then we have Office of Inspections and Investigations. So that is where I have been for the last 8+ years. So this internal oversight provides assurance to the executive director of WFP that all its programs and operations are properly running, and it conducts objective and independent oversight activities to protect the integrity and improve the efficiency and effectiveness of WFP's programs and operations, and to detect and deter fraud, waste, and abuse, and finally, to recommend actions to prevent similar loss or damage in future, recover funds or assets lost, and recommend disciplinary or administrative actions as warranted. So what are the type of wrongdoings we investigate? That covers all of that: fraud, corruption, bribery, theft, misappropriation, food diversion, conflict of interest, improper use of WFP resources, misrepresentation or falsification of documents, abuse of power, discrimination on any grounds, harassment and sexual harassment, sexual exploitation and abuse, and any other breaches of WFP policies, rules, and regulations. So with these last 2 quotes, I end my presentation. My apologies for this mix-up about the videos because they were really brilliant. So those links are available. You can open those links directly and see them. And I close with these 2 quotes. Until the day we have a medical vaccine, food is the best vaccine against chaos. And what Mahatma Gandhi said, to a man with an empty stomach, food is the God. So that's all from me, and wish it was face to face, then at least you can see, and then the videos would have also definitely worked because they worked on my screen but did not go there. So with this, I thank you very much for this opportunity and will be open to the questions before my friend Mr. Bishow Parajuli takes over. But if somebody wants to follow him, I have put here some of those media engagements that he has done over last couple of I don't know if you can see this.
Let us do that later. Let me share,
Yeah.
and I think we can maybe do a question answer combined even, Harjit.
Okay, so for me, okay, then it's that is fine for me. So with this, I stop. Thank you very much. That's all from me, and I go mute. I stop sharing.
Dr. Priya, you can take over, and then I will come in afterwards. Please go ahead.
Sure, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sandhu. Thank you very much for enlightening us of what WFP has been doing over the years in all parts of the world since so many years. WFP has been working with the motto, until the day we have a vaccine, food is the best vaccine against chaos. So WFP is indeed the world's largest humanitarian effort that truly deserves a Nobel. It was a wonderful talk, sir. Now I introduce our next speaker, Mr. Bishow Parajuli. Mr. Bishow Parajuli took over office as United Nations World Food Programme representative and country director to India on 1st September 2019. Mr. Parajuli brings 35 years of distinguished experiences in development, humanitarian affairs, diplomacy, fundraising, and management in over 10 countries in Asia, Middle East, and Africa, including WFP headquarters in Rome. Prior to his current assignment, Mr. Parajuli served for the past 5 years in Zimbabwe as the UN Resident Coordinator and designated official of the UN Secretary General, and also as the resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme. Mr. Parajuli has also served as the UN World Food Programme representative and country director in Yemen, and in WFP headquarters in Rome as the chief of staff, director of the executive directors, as well as the director of government donor relations. From 2008 to 2011, Mr. Parajuli has served as WFP representative and country director in Egypt, and then as UN resident and humanitarian coordinator and UNDP resident representative in Myanmar. Mr. Bishow holds 2 master's degrees in agricultural development and in business administration and an honors degree in agricultural sciences. Over to you, sir.
Namaste, and thank you very much, Dr. Priya, for this opportunity. I want to say good evening and warm greetings to everyone. It's really an honor and pleasure to be here joining the Delhi University, this Deen Dayal Upadhayaya College, and the distinguished alumni. Thank you. Maybe I will start with the question one may have: why WFP has been awarded Nobel Peace Prize? My friend Harjit has touched on it a little bit, but I want to sum up in maybe a very short messages. The number one is, WFP, food is a basic right for humanity and a basic need for humanity. WFP reaches out everywhere and anywhere where the people need food. So over 100 million people are fed every day, day in and day out. That be it in the war situation, be it in the in a situation of conflict, be it in a humanitarian crisis like tsunami or drought or cyclone, we are there. So an appreciation of that. And my colleagues are, living in a most difficult, life-threatening situation, sacrificing even their own life. In fact, this year there was the maximum number of deaths of humanitarian workers in some of the most conflict areas. That's number one. Number two is, unfortunately, in this world of plenty and 21st century, there is enough food in the world, but there is still 690 million people go hungry every day. And that is a very sad story. And WFP has been bringing the plight of these people globally to say that we have this invisible face we need to look after and bringing that, because without food, there can be element of conflict, and that's been proven. So therefore, we need to look after the humanity. Moreover, now sadly with the COVID pandemic, the people who are acutely hungry, about 130 million has been doubled to 270 million. So to have a world with so much of acute hunger is a huge concern. And finally, in a lot of war and conflict situations, some of these, the warlords and dictators use food as a tool to move people and entice people, or it causes displacement, or people run away, because if there is no food, people, we have seen the situation in Syria, we have seen the situation in Yemen, and a lot of other countries where people have been moving because there is a lack of food. So this 130 million people on WFP feeds day and out also includes a large number of those people So this has been an element hugely recognized, and the Nobel Peace Committee has found that WFP uses all its means to bring peace and support stability and bring the plight of the people. So this has been a most humbling experience for and recognition and joyful for the 17,000 WFP staff working in over 80 countries. And not only to WFP, but also government and donors and friends of WFP who are supporting and behind WFP for this cause. So this is a really a recognition to all our friends and government and partners who are with WFP to supporting. And finally, a point also to mention is there is a lot of challenge to multilateralism and etc. Recognizing this WFP's role in contributing to peace and its passionate work, humanitarian work, also points out the fact that the world needs multilateral organizations like UN and WFP, and they have a lot of role to play. I think the Nobel Committee has recognized that part. Now, the second part I want to share is the point, as I mentioned, there may be plenty of food in the world, but there is a huge amount of hunger. That hunger is there because of poverty, because of war, because of inequality, because of climate change and drought and all these concerns. And we work with government, we work with partners to make sure that everyone is fed. In situation of conflict and displacement, we provide food support to those people there. But because WFP does two things. One is provide the food as a way to save lives in crisis, but another way is to support, improve life in a normal situations, in a peaceful situation, and more like a general development work. Development work in a way to bring sustainability in improving food security, bringing innovation, targeting, and as well as building capacity and working in developing policies and programs so the government can take over. And there are different ways the food is used. One of the reference my friend Harjit mentioned is like school feeding program, for example, because providing meal to children is a really important element so that they are not hungry, they can learn better, and also it helps the continued advancement in their cognitive strength. The second part is various nutrition programs supporting improved nutritional level, because food is a major component in addressing nutrition. So if you don't have enough nutrition doesn't mean just basic, rice or bread or chapati. It is that brings mostly calorie and etc. But also other elements, micronutrients, vitamin and minerals. So there is a more of a balanced diet to support additional those requirements. And then the other type of program WFP does is, helping women groups and man groups to work in terms of developing assets. So those assets can be individual assets. Those assets could be a public assets, and that helps to address or strengthen income potential in future for individuals, or also to have a contributing, enabling environment for the community to work on. Now, World Food Program and the India we have a long history. We have a 50 years of partnership. You heard about the history of WFP and etc. You know, I began my journey as an agriculture student. We were together in Punjab Agriculture University doing agriculture, and I followed India's development in food security and agricultural productivity. India has made immense progress, and now it is, you know, those days in 70s and 60s and even 80s, there were still dependent on import. Now India not only has its own surplus, but even export. It's one of a major exporting country because of the Green Revolution and the role universities have played, and you know, the progressive farmers and etc. And so as a result of this shift in local production and self-sufficiency, WFP moved towards a different modality to engage and partner with India. Now, from the last 10, 15 years, we are working in India in supporting, you know, this very important public distribution system which India has. For example, working in government in terms of improving targeting, bringing innovation, and also bringing best practices in terms of cost efficiency, etc. And then we are working in terms of to see how we can work to improve on nutrition. Through fortification, we have a program supporting, demonstrating best practices, how to fortify rice, and bring technology to work on. We just signed an agreement in UP State, for example, to establish several best practice processing units, and then the UP State scaling that up. We signed an agreement with IIT Delhi to bring a technology in terms of improving operational cost, the logistics supply chain, to bring efficiency in the delivery mechanism. During the whole period of COVID and lockdown, we worked with the Empower Group to see how do we help support, improve efficiency and bring the base day-to-day information with the Empower Group. And we are also working to strengthen bringing an element of food and nutrition in responding to the climate crisis and the emergency response with the National Disaster NDMAs, Management Authority, and National Institutes of Disaster Management. Because there is one thing which we must realize: food security is at the biggest threat due to climate change. Climate change has a direct impact in terms of rain pattern, in terms of temperature rise, and that is resulting in increased number of floods, increased number of droughts, cyclones, and those type of disaster. We have seen it recently in Hyderabad. We have seen in Odisha. We have seen in Kerala. We have seen in West Bengal, etc. So how do we prepare and respond to work on these? And now, because of the the old concept of availability of enough production of food equates to food security at individual level is not a guarantee, frankly. There may be enough production, but the individual don't have a purchasing power. So therefore, we look at this as a food system approach to make sure that there is enough production, but there is also processing and and delivery, the good supply chain and the nutritional element. And also the third part is sustainability. So while we produce, we don't destroy the environment and we don't destroy the ecosystem, and we maximize the use of water. So those types of things. And we bring from that point of view our global experience and partnership to work with the government. And we have a partnership at the center, and we have a cooperation at the state level. We have helped to also continuously update and work on evidence-based approach, looking at where there is a vulnerability, where there is a huge need of help and support, and then target towards that and work with the states in bringing this innovation and transfer knowledge. Unlike in the past, we used to bring food support, direct food from outside, or buy food locally. Now the government takes care of it. I think one element which is one of the best thing India has is these three major food safety net programs. The public distribution covering 800 million people, and also the midday meal covering 120 million, and the ICDS program, which is covering almost 100 million. So the ICDS covers the need of the children, midday meal covers the adolescents, children in the schools, and then the public distribution covers almost everybody. And additionally, you have seen during the time of the COVID, this program played an extremely important role, and government added even the extra food rations to reach out to the needy people and work on that. So it's been a long journey, this cooperation, and then our approach is to transform based on the country situation and etc. The last point also, what we are working on India is, India with this great surplus and self-sufficiency in local food, the government in India is also working with WFP to help other countries where there is a need, to help support, to share the humanity to situation where there is increasing need and all. We are working towards that increased partnership for that. Now, going forward, I want to share 4 points. What is really crucial in terms of ensuring food security, and also what role each of us as individuals to play. As I said, this COVID has added a huge burden on individuals. The World Food Program is playing an increasing role, but what is important is every human being, everyone who can help should join in to help this. We need to help our friends, our communities, and those who really need help. So to share a meal, to provide a support, sharing a meal is not just giving food, it is caring. So this is my first appeal to everybody, and joining hand to help. So nobody should go hungry in this age of 21st century. The second point I want to say is there is this strong link between the food and climate issue and the climate change. So we have a responsibility as every individual to really join hand to prevent the climate change. I mean, I'm sure you have heard about Greta Thunberg, the Swedish young girl of 16-year-old, really campaigning and appealing, and everybody playing a role, joining hand, and I've seen it also in India, young people playing a very important role. So we all have a role to play in this. It's not him or her, but what I can do in joining hand to that. We all need to look into that. And in that context, there is a need for effort in terms of policies and program and planning and adaptation to change in climate. For example, we have increasingly shifted consuming food more monoculture, like rice and wheat and etc. There used to be traditional crops like millets and sorghum and bajra, other things. We should really, these are nutritive food and these are important food. We should really, help consume that. And not only that, we need to look at where are we sourcing our food from. Do you want to buy a California apple or you want to buy a Simla apple? If you're buying an apple from California, it consumes a lot of carbon, transporting that from there. And then for Simla, it would be less carbon. We all need to work and think from that angle. Source local, buy local, and also if we can grow our little food in our kitchen garden or rooftop, really we should join hand in that. It's a little contribution, it may be, but it's a contribution. So we have to really play that role. And then the third point I want to say is always a lot, 1/3 of the food is produced is sadly lost. Between the farmers' production to the consumption, it goes wasted. It is lost and wasted. We really need to see each of us not to waste food, because this food has been resourced with a lot of efforts and natural resources. We need to see how do we really contribute to minimize these losses. And we need, of course, program and efforts towards that. And the last point I want to say is, every communities have this vulnerable population who, in spite of their best efforts and etc., maybe they have lost jobs, or they have no employment, or somehow they are not able to afford proper food to the families and etc. So there is continuous need for program protecting this vulnerable population. And I think India has one of the best examples from that point of view. Those 3 big programs I highlighted. We need increasingly these type of things. And if there are people who are left out and not be part of the program, but they need to be brought in and included. And WFP works towards these policies and programs to bring those excluded population and working with the government to reach them out, so everybody is food secure. So it's not only giving food, but also working with government to reach out and bring new technology. For example, this one nation, one card system, the biometric system. We have been working for years with the government to bring that technology and improve targeting and accountability and prevent losses and etc. And really these days the technology is so advanced. There is one thing which we are working on, just to tell you as a way in terms of introducing technology. We are going to be soon launching a grain ATM, for example. Anybody with their ration card go to a grain ATM and then collect the ration. Don't have to go to a shop and bring that out. So they can work in a different places, but then go and collect it. We are bringing some innovative approach, working with the fishermen in the coast of Odisha to see how fishermen don't have to waste too much time going to far up in sea and then and then coming empty hand. So use of artificial intelligence. We're using satellite system to see how the tracking of the cyclone and those weather situation is done. So there is a help in terms of adaptation to right time. And also the point which my friend Harjit mentioned about cash transfer to individual. It doesn't have to be physically transferring, taking cash. Although when I was in Yemen, we took truckload of box load of cash to give it to distribute to people. But now you have a phone system, and with the bank and phone, individually directly go to individual. That's what we did in Zimbabwe, for example. And that is possible, and it goes to either the bank account directly, or it goes to the phone as a credit, and with that credit they can go and draw it. We are promoting effort to grow crops with minimum water and less water, because water is a scarce commodity, and it is not indefinite amount, and we really need to guard, prevent that, use less water. So this is and then like for example growing various food, following the hydroponic agriculture technique to grow food in desert in those sort of climate conditions. In fact, we have a application. I want to encourage you all to go in the web and download. It's called Share the Meal. It costs 25 cents to feed a child in school. You can join in and you can contribute. It's few rupees to a few hundred rupees plays a very important role for everybody to join in, to support, etc. So thank you very much for listening and for this opportunity. But we are very humbled to have this honor of recognition of the Nobel Peace Prize as a WFP staff, and we have a great cooperation with Government of India. But also we are very humbled to have the honor of recognition of the Nobel Peace Prize as a WFP staff, and we have a great cooperation with Government of India. But also we are very humbled to have.
Thank you, sir, for giving us such a detailed overview of what WFP has been doing for the populations around the world, despite all odds, but still in an eco-friendly way with all the latest technologies in providing not only food, but proper nutrition to every soul who needs it. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, there are a few questions on our YouTube platform that we are live streaming with. Let me read the first question. Our student is asking, peace is a multidimensional aspect, but how can an organization providing food help in war prevention in hunger-ridden countries?
Shall I try to answer that?
Sure, sir.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Food is a resource. And the politicians and sometimes the warring parties use food as a tool to keep people in their side. So therefore, it's an extremely important and valuable resource for humanity to live on. And people, if they don't have a food, few hours we don't have a food, we go hungry. Imagine several days and etc. So people, follow that, and so therefore the role for food is really important. That's number one. Number two is, from my own first-hand experience, I served in Yemen, and the situation in Yemen. From my residence to the office, I used to go with a helmet and a bulletproof vest, because it is a passion you bring to help other people, and that's a way, it's an honor to serve the humanity while working as a professional in the organization. So we feel, I mean, my 35 years and 10 countries, I feel really passionate about it. And also I want to say that, women and children, they need special attention and nutrition and food requirement. And especially children during the first 2 years of their age, and the women during their pregnancy, and then when they are breastfeeding, that's very requirement. So we pay really special attention towards that. And then the third part is, we buy food locally, and then we use that, so we promote agriculture and an element of sustainable development there. And you all know the as a part of the Sustainable Development Goal, 17 goals, SDG 2 is zero hunger. And the zero hunger looks at these various elements of challenge, is the stunting or malnutrition addressing, the issue of losses, and another one is minimum food requirement for individuals. So imagine the people in the refugee camp in Jordan or in Uganda or in Kenya. If they don't get food enough, where will they land up? Which means they will run away, and they would be in a chaos and on a boat going to Europe or any other countries. Think of next door here, the 700,000, 800,000 Rohingya refugees from Myanmar in Bangladesh. So they are being fed by World Food Program and others to survive there and to live there. And in a way, it's still until they find a durable solution and return back to contribute to the stability and peace and etc. So this is how the work of WFP is framed in contributing to peace and the role of food to contribute to the peace. And this is what the Nobel Peace Prize Committee has very well recognized, the multiple role of WFP, life-saving, life-sustaining, and sustaining and nourishing the environment and the earth. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. There is another question. I think you have already answered it. I'll read the question. How is WFP working in creating an indistinctive attitude among masses to come up for others, to rise up for someone's aid?
Well, I stress on that point. Everyone has a role to play. Please share a meal. There are many children and families who are hungry. It doesn't matter, share a half a meal, doesn't matter, but we can all do that. There are children who have escaped their pocket money and donated to WFP. There are, or to any other organization who are addressing hunger and work on. WFP is one of the organizations which has the minimum operating cost, is very efficient, and we engage in the best way in a country context and situation. So everyone can join in to support. Download that application when I said share the meal.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you, Bishow. I would like to quickly add to that. Really, Anil, they say that some things you appreciate only when you see it. If you are sitting in air-conditioned conference hall and you are discussing about eradicating poverty, you cannot understand exactly what is happening on the ground. Now, my friend Bishow and me, we have been to some of those areas where you really see what hunger is and how little, even $1 for them, will be sufficient to last for 3 or 4 meals. We cannot, those who waste food, waste money, they will not appreciate that. But once they get it, We have been to like Kenya, Dadaab, and all those refugees when they come from that. I've been to some of the refugee camps in Uganda, in Kenya, in South Sudan, where there is no road. There is no road whatsoever in the entire town. I won't call it city. There is no road. I mean, no black-topped Pakka road. It's just dirt path, and even WFP planes and helicopters land there and deliver food. But when you see there, you will be tempted to donate. Now, again, I may sound like atheist or rationalist, I will call. Rather than giving 100 rupees to a temple or some other religious place, I will prefer to give it either to educational institution or to some humanitarian agency, WFP. Again, not to sound like self-glorification. For the last more than 10 years, I'm paying minimum, because if somebody goes on WFP website, the public website, it says you donate. You can donate as little as $2. $2 monthly, 2, 5, 10, 15, it is there. So you click it, automatically give. For a person who is earning a good salary, donating $10 or something will not be. And the way WFP is so like economical, I don't think anyone else can provide a meal in 25 cents, but WFP does it. And the man sitting with us, he has done it in those difficult areas. So we know it can be. So people have to come out. I'm not saying don't give to religious places at all, but something give it to that. If my college, Khalsa College, still invites me, and whenever I go there, I give whatever little within my capacities I do. So it's not that everyone can give more, but everybody, just minimum is a cost of your own one meal. You can donate to one of these humanitarian agencies. So I think that I stop at that. I hope, Vishu, I added to your point or
No,
complemented
very
it.
good, very good. In fact, you know, during the whole lockdown period, when all these migrants were moving, I mean, Gileadites, private sector, everyone joined in. There were 16, 20 million meals served. There were kitchen volunteer. So I think it's inbuilt in the culture of Indians to share and to help others. And food is a basic thing. So I think we all need to continuously join to reach out and support those who need it and help each other. And it's happening. So it is a wonderful thing. And the youth can continuously play an important role in this, and they must. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Go
We
ahead
have
with
certain other questions also, but sir, I think keeping in view the time constraint.
Well, I'm happy to take. I'm happy to take one or two questions.
I pushed my way. I had a meeting at 4 o'clock. I already pushed it to 4:30 here. So for me, this afternoon, this is very important. It's close to my heart. This subject of
So,
WFP.
Priya, if
Not
there
that
is one question you want to raise, I'm happy to answer.
As the question is, students are interested in knowing how can they participate in the endeavors taken up by World Food Program in India?
Very good question. In fact, I want to reach out to university students. That's in my agenda, and advocate how they can join and help, support this. And we will bring a package. It is difficult to bring an answer to individual, but collectively we can work on you can have a group of students engaged in various packages and programs. And I want to give you one example. For example, in Indonesia, when I was working, there was a association or civil society called Youth Ending Hunger. And the students join on Saturday or Sundays to contribute their time and work as a community volunteers. to support, be it to distribute food or depending whichever background they work on, and join hands. And you know, it could also be sort of collecting funds from private sectors, volunteers, and making that effort through the collected funds as a joint team. In Europe, I've seen at the airport and various places, youths at the airports and other places collecting funds from individuals. I mean, there are multiple ways it can be done, and but I will reach out to Delhi University and really create that environment to facilitate. But we have a website. You can reach out. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. It's my name and the Twitter handle. We share a lot of messages through that. A lot of time. Tune in, join in to see how you can contribute. Also provide feedback if there are challenges and issues. We want to hear and support, understand, better. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, we would definitely like to invite you again. We would like to host you again to interact with our students face to face once the situations become normal. I know Dr. Sandhu was to arrive in December in India, but somehow because of the current situations, he has to postpone his visit to India. So, sir, definitely we will be in touch with you, and we would like you to come up to our college and interact with our students face to face. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity,
on
and namaste to everybody.
On behalf of Deen Dayal Upadhyaya College and Internal Quality Assurance Cell and DPT Star College Scheme, I thank Dr. Harjit, Sandhu and Mr. Parajuli for giving us a glimpse of what wonders the World Food Program is doing for the masses around the world. I also thank all our participants for joining this event and making it a big success. Dear students, there is a link to the feedback form given in the chat section. All the participants are requested to fill in the form given in the chat section of YouTube live stream link to avail the e-certificate of this event. I once again thank you all. Good day.
Thank you and namaste.
Thank you. Thank